Okay, so the question says, Aspen and Olivia pick some beautiful wildflowers. If Aspen gives Olivia 1/3 of her flowers, Aspen will have 1/4 as many flowers as Olivia. If instead Olivia gives Aspen 1/3 of her flowers, Aspen will have 21 more flowers than Olivia. How many flowers do the two girls have altogether? Okay, to do this, we're going to consider both parts of this question, do both of them, and we will find out how many flowers the two girls have together. I'll go on the right side of the page, and I will make a table. There we go. We're going to do both parts of the question. I will highlight the first sentence, leaving out the part of the wildflowers, because that is not really important. More just setting up the scene, right? Put that there. And the second part will be this gold, nope, not that one, this color. All right, so we did that. This one is going to be called the original scenario. Okay. I'm going to also highlight it to match the purple part of the question, because that's what it represents. I'll also fix up my table. Okay, that's good. Aspen and Olivia. All right, so we did that. And now I will give them the parts. Since if Aspen gives Olivia 2/3 of her flowers, Aspen will have 1/4 as many flowers as Olivia. All right, so we actually need to give Aspen some thirds to give away to Olivia, if that makes any sense. So I'll take some of those and give her all of her thirds. This is 1/2, 3/3. Now it says that Aspen gives Olivia if Aspen gives Olivia, of course, 2/3 of her flowers. So I will take those. I'll take 1/3 and another third and give it to Olivia. All right, now it says on this part of the question, Aspen will have 1/4 as many flowers as Olivia. So for that to happen, we need to give Olivia some of her own. What is it, her own? Because right now all she has is the one Aspen gave to her. We made that, but does Aspen have 1/4 of Olivia's flowers? No, she has 1/3. So I'm gonna make another one. Now we can see that Aspen does have 1/4 of Olivia's flowers. Aspen has 1 and Olivia has 4. So that's 1/4 of Olivia's flowers. All right, but since this is the original scenario, we give them back to Aspen. We give Aspen's flowers back to Aspen. And the reason we actually gave them to Olivia in the first place was to actually find our original scenario. This is what they had in the first place. Because if Aspen gives them to Olivia, it says Aspen will have 1/4 as many flowers as Olivia. But to do that, we actually have to do the question and consider the scenario. So because we gave the 2/3 to Olivia, we could really see how much she had. And now if we give them back, we have our original scenario. This is what they had before. If they didn't give each other anything, this is what they would have. And now we're doing the other part of the question. To do that, I'm just going to copy this table with the original amounts. And there it is, right there. This is not the original scenario because we're going to make it the second scenario. There's no S, so I'll make it like that. I'm also going to change the color to match the second part of the question. Alright, the good thing about copying this one is because we actually have the original scenario now. This is what they had before, and now we could change it to fit the needs of this part of the question. It says, if instead Olivia gives Aspen 1/3 of her flowers, Aspen will have 21 more flowers than Olivia. Alright, but here's the thing. Olivia doesn't really have 2/3 that we could conveniently give to Aspen. So I'll get rid of this one and get some smaller versions. You can see that each unit rectangle, these, the purple and the orange, not together but just individually, are one unit rectangle. Now if we cut that unit rectangle into 3 pieces, we get 3 squares for each unit rectangle. Olivia had 2, so we cut each of them into 3 pieces, and now we have 6 pieces. Now we could give Aspen the 2/3. Nope, 1/3. Not 2/3, 1/3 that we need to give to her. Alright, so we have 6 squares. 6 divided by 3, because that will give us thirds, is 2. So that means 1/3 is equal to 2 squares. Or 1/3 represents 2 squares. That's more accurate. I'll take that, and I'll give it to Aspen. And I'll take another one, because 1/3 is 2 squares after all. Now what did I do? Nothing. Good. I didn't do anything wrong. Right, there we go. Right. So Olivia has given 1/3 to Aspen. She is left with 2/3, which is 4 squares. Alright, now we're focusing on this part of the question. It says Aspen will have 21 more flowers than Olivia. So I'll highlight that so we can see it. My highlighting will not be perfect, but I intend to make it, well, at least so you can see it. I'll try. There we go. Okay, it says Aspen will have 21 more flowers than Olivia. Hope that's clear enough. Alright, so Aspen has 21 more flowers than Olivia, apparently. Well, if Olivia gives Aspen 1/3. Now I'm going to make a rectangle that has all of the flowers and all of the squares that Olivia doesn't have. You can see Olivia has 1 unit rectangle and 1 square. So I will write here, Aspen, I'll just write 21, not that, 21 flowers. And she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just count them like this. 1, 2. There is 2 squares left in that unit bar. Each one is made up of 3 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then these ones, 6, 7. So Aspen has 7 of those squares. Now I'll draw out, right, 7 squares. Not really draw it out, write it out apparently. And I'll move that so it's not right on the rectangle. Okay, we could see that Aspen has 7 more squares than Olivia. She does not have 7 squares in total, but 7 more than Olivia. It also says Aspen will have 21 more flowers than Olivia. If she has 7 squares more than Olivia and 21 more flowers, then we divide 21 by 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3. Alright, so 1 square represents 3 flowers. Just right. So I'll make So I'll just draw a huge arrow apparently. And then I will write flowers, because each square represents 3 flowers. But now that we know what each square represents, we need to know what one rectangle represents. Okay, so the rectangle is made up of 1, 2, 3 squares. If each square represents 3 flowers, it's 3 times 3, and that equals 9. Get rid of those. Make an arrow. It's probably going to be huge. Yep, I was right. I'll just do it like this so you could actually see it. All right, so each unit rectangle represents 9 flowers, because 3 times 3 is 9. There we go. Now that we know that, each square represents 3 flowers and each rectangle represents 9 flowers, we can actually do the question. I will get rid of all. No, I think we still need them. Yes, we need them to see how many flowers each girl has. Aspen has 3 rectangles. Each one is equal to 1. Each one represents 9 flowers. So it's 9 times 3. So Aspen has 27 flowers. Whoops. I'll just write it over here. Aspen has 27 flowers. All right, and so we're going to do Olivia's flowers now. Olivia has 2 unit rectangles. Each one represents 9 flowers. So 9 times 2 is 18. So I will write, and Olivia has 18 flowers. All right, I'll get rid of all of this because we no longer need it. The question did say how many flowers do the 2 girls have altogether. So 27 plus 18 is 45. So now we know all together the girls have 45 flowers. And I'll add a period for both of the sentences. There we go. So now we have our answer. We need to check the answer. Get rid of go. We need to get rid of this table. I'll just push it down here so we can't really see it while we're checking our answer. Now I will take this over here. I'll just move it. No, that's good. It's in a good spot. I'll just this and copy that, because the way we're checking it, we're going to need them. We're going to need some of those. I'm going to check if the purple statement is actually true now that we have our answer. There we go. It says Aspen has 27 flowers and Olivia has 18 flowers, as we know. Now it says if Aspen gives Olivia 2/3 of her flowers, Aspen will have 1/4 as many flowers as Olivia. Okay, so now we're going to do the purple statement. Since it's the purple statement, I'll make it purple. Same color purple too. Alright, so Aspen gives Olivia 2/3 of her flowers. 27 divided by 3 is 9, so each third represents 9. So 2/3 is 18. I'll take away 18 from 27, and that equals 9, and I'll give 18 to Olivia. That will be 36, I believe. Yes, it is 36. Now it says Aspen will have 1/4 as many flowers as Olivia. So we can see 9 times 4 is 36. So 9 is 1/4 of 36. So now we know the purple statement is true. Now to check the yellow or orangish gold statement. We'll just call it that. I'll put it here. The good thing about copying is you get the original statement. We don't have to change it to fit the needs of this question. All right, it says, if instead Olivia gives Aspen 1/3 of her flowers, Aspen will have 21 more flowers than Olivia. All right, so Olivia has 18 flowers. 1/3 of 18 is 6, because 18 divided by 6 is 3. So each third represents 6. I will take away 1/3. 18 take away 6, and that is 12. Now we will give 6 to Aspen. And that is going to be 33. All right, so it says Aspen will have 21 more flowers than Olivia. We can see that if we take 12 away from 33, we will get 21. So Aspen does have 21 more flowers than Olivia. We know that the gold statement is true. Therefore, we checked both. Therefore, our answer is true. Our answer is correct, not our answer is true. Because we checked both of the statements and they matched up with our answer. So our answer is 45 is correct.